If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel in 2026, you're probably overwhelmed by all the advice out there. I'm going to simplify it for you. I'm going to break this down to just 4 elements. That's it. Here's what you actually need to focus on. Let's begin by finding your niche. Start with what you actually enjoy, something you're passionate about. This gives you long-term topics to talk about. Don't just chase what's viral right now, because when that trend dies off, so does your channel. Start from a high level, test the water first, then narrow it down. You'll hear a lot of people saying to niche down immediately, but you don't actually know how narrow it should be until you try. Don't niche down on day one, but test 5 to 10 videos in your broad topic first. Find a broad topic, then find one angle within it that's not being covered. Keep the topic broad at a high level to give your channel a theme, then narrow it down from there. Everyone always tells you to niche down immediately. I'm telling you the opposite. You need data first. You need to see what resonates before you commit. For example, AI automation and AI agents are big right now. That's a good topic. But narrowing it down means targeting a specific audience. Like me, I do AI automation, but specifically for content creators only. No one else. Don't pick AI automation for everyone, but pick AI automation for content creators. Or take Ali Abdal. He started as productivity for students, eventually evolved to productivity as a content creator, then productivity as a business owner. The core theme is productivity, but the target gets wider over time. Then we have the package concept. Each video is pretty much a package, and each package has 4 elements: presence, thumbnail, title, and target audience. All these packages sit in a bigger package called your niche, or your YouTube channel. Now, here's something interesting. Most big YouTubers haven't mastered all 4 elements. You'll see channels with millions of subscribers who have terrible thumbnails but great presence, or amazing production but weak titles. They succeed despite having gaps because they nailed 1 or 2 elements so well it carried them. But imagine if you mastered all 4 from the start. To give you a better understanding, let's talk about presence. To succeed on YouTube, it's all about your presence and confidence in front of the camera. If you're doing faceless channels, it's all about your voice, tone, and presentation. Not everyone has this naturally, but it's a skill that can be built. But don't wait until you feel ready, but record yourself anyways. So why does voice matter? Because delivery is important. Audio trumps video. Video keeps the attention span longer, but audio keeps the interest. Presence also includes the vibe you give to your viewer. Things people look for are you trustworthy? Are you sincere? Are you believable? Are you relatable? Good presence is about making viewers feel excited, feel motivated, feel fulfilled, although this varies by category. Education, for example, is about actionable steps, advice that produces results, learning something that can be applied, solving problems, giving solutions. Entertainment, on the other hand, is about making viewers happy, enjoyment, satisfaction, laughter. Spend time understanding the type of emotion you want to trigger, build up your persona, and create that presence. It's about making your viewers feel something, not what you feel. You can express your feelings, but don't make it look like a complaint. Basically, don't just be yourself, but be the version of yourself that serves your audience. Next, the most commonly used word on YouTube: the thumbnail. Thumbnails are extremely subjective. To me, I find thumbnails are important to stop scrolling, but the thumbnail isn't what gets you the click. The title gets the click. The thumbnail stops the scroll. The title closes the deal. Still, thumbnails are important to make your video stand out in a world of endless scrolling. A good thumbnail should grasp the attention of the viewer in 1 second, but do take note that there's no one-size-fits-all. MrBeast type thumbnails work with their high contrast and colorful style, but they work well for entertainment type content. MKBHD type thumbnails are tacky. The main focus is on the product with a minimal background to give the product the spotlight. spotlight. Education type thumbnails are mostly serious faces accompanied by text overlays to describe the topic in 3 or 4 words. So what is a good thumbnail? A good thumbnail is a thumbnail that you are satisfied with but also aligns with thumbnails that work on YouTube. Here's what you can do. Find 3 to 4 competitors, analyze their thumbnail style, check their background, their expression, the props, the contrast. Find the one that you like and create a similar variation out of it. Don't try to create your own style at this stage because you're still learning and absorbing. You cannot yet tell what works and what doesn't. Don't create 10 different styles, but pick one style and stick with it for 20 videos or so. Biggest advice I can give on thumbnails by far: don't let others tell you what your thumbnail should look like. Your friend's opinion on your thumbnail isn't worth much. Use proven results from your competitors. For example, I like Ali Abdaal and @Lawrence. Ali Abdaal's thumbnails are minimal, clean, and always bright. @Lawrence is usually a dark, colored background with huge text. I like dark backgrounds. I like big, simple text. So I combine them both and come up with something similar. Now, I always have my face, a text overlay, and I reuse the same background because I like it. My 2 cents, there will always be those who say your thumbnail won't work. It's your choice to listen, and it's good to test different thumbnails, but decide fast and move on fast. Title is quite possibly the most important one. It sets the tone of your video. It generates curiosity. It determines if your video is going to perform well. Let's say I have a topic on how many hours you need to sleep. I can have a title that says, this is how many hours you need to sleep a day. I can have a title that says, feeling tired? You're not sleeping right. I can have a title that says, how to feel rejuvenated and energized every day. All 3 titles talk about the same topic, about how many hours you need to sleep. But all 3 titles set 3 different emotions, different directions, and different goals. This is how many hours you need to sleep a day. Mainly targeting people who are neutral, not really looking for an answer to anything, and probably click if it appears on their home feed out of curiosity. Feeling tired? You're not sleeping right. Mainly targeting people who know they have trouble with sleep, who constantly feel tired even after 10 hours of sleep. How to feel rejuvenated and energized every day. Targets people who are tired daily and wants to feel energized again, but don't know sleep is the culprit. When you create a title, create one with the audience in mind, the one that you want to get the message out to. Getting the right title takes time, it takes some experience, so be ready to experiment around to learn. Also, don't write your title last, but write 5 title options before you even record the video. Check out titles from your competitors, then create a variation out of it. There are channels out there who blatantly copy the exact title, which sort of works sometimes, but I advise against that as you don't learn that way. Here's what works. Find a video in your niche that performs well. Understand why that title worked. Then remake it with your angle. You're not stealing, you're learning from what's proven. Don't copy word for word, but use their structure with your angle. You can also use AI to bounce ideas with. Tell AI the type of audience you want to target, give some titles from your competitors, and have AI come up with some ideas. Working alongside AI works well for me as AI is capable of coming up with strong impact words. Don't trust AI 100% though, but let AI generate 10 to 20 title options you can refine. Target audience is something not talked about often. That's because either no one actually knows how targeted it should be, or everyone just wants to target the whole wide world. Finding your target audience is very important because it determines the type of video you want to make. Each video you create can only cater to a certain audience. If you try to target all, you target no one, and it also confuses YouTube. You need to be specific. But targeting one type of audience can also cause you to alienate existing audiences or your subscribers. This is a catch-22. If you keep creating for an existing audience, your channel can't get new audiences. Your channel can't grow. If you target new audiences, the existing audience leaves. But if you're starting out, target a new audience. As a new channel, you have the advantage of not needing to worry that much about existing audiences yet. That comes later. So don't ask, will my subscriber like this? But ask, will this reach new people? Focus on learning how you can target the audience you want, because the more you do it, the more obvious it becomes how you can navigate around the audience you want and create content that can fit a wider audience. Now that we've covered the 4 core elements, let's talk about what doesn't matter as much. These are factors which I call secondary elements. Secondary elements are things like gear, lighting, background, aesthetic, editing style. They're important, but they're not vital for a video's success. We have seen videos recorded with an iPhone that went viral, or a video of just one person sitting and talking with zero editing getting millions of views. Those videos do well because they nailed the 4 elements in the package. Secondary elements are important too to elevate your content to the next level, but focus on getting the package right first. A lot of new YouTubers tend to focus on the secondary elements when they should be strengthening their primary package. Getting the package right requires lots of effort and time, and most of it you can only learn by creating new videos. But creating content requires a lot of effort as well, and if you don't create enough, you don't get enough experience. Which is why I try to automate as much as possible in order to save my mental energy and time for the creative part. For example, I do brainstorming with ChatGPT to get ideas on thumbnails and titles. It's like bouncing ideas with a mentor. I also create automation to upload YouTube Shorts for me automatically when the video is ready, so I don't have to upload to YouTube manually, wait for it to complete the upload, change the description, change the title, and set the date. I can even automate long-form videos if I want to. The idea here is to remove as much friction as possible to maintain momentum. So leverage AI when you can, not as your replacement, but as an assistant to help you think when your brain is tired from thinking. So if you want to start a YouTube channel, focus on mastering a complete package. Most channels, including big channels, have yet to master this but are often distracted by secondary factors. As a new channel, don't try and attempt too many things at once. Starting with just these 4 elements is enough to cover 80% of what YouTube is. The remaining 20% is really around strategy, growing YouTube beyond YouTube, and turning it into a full-blown business. And when it comes to monetization, don't think about making money until you have proven your package works. I know that sounds harsh, but chasing monetization too early will distort your content. Focus on nailing the 4 elements first. Once you consistently create videos that people want to watch, the money follows naturally. And here's the hard truth. Your first 20 videos will probably suck. Maybe even your first 30. That's normal. You're learning. The goal isn't perfection on video 1. The goal is getting the reps in so you can see what works. But what if you follow all of this and nothing works? What if you make 20 videos and they all get 50 views? First, check if you actually nailed the 4 elements. Be honest with yourself. Did you really study your competitors? Did you really test different titles? Did you really target a specific audience? Most people think they did the work when they didn't. If you genuinely did the work and it's still not working, then pivot. Try a different angle within your niche. Change your target audience. Test a different presentation style. But don't abandon the 4 elements framework. The framework works. You just haven't found your specific execution yet. Reach out to me if you need help. I help mentor small channels from time to time to help them kickstart their YouTube channel as a business. Be sure to sign up to my newsletter and keep an eye out when spots open. Also, check out this video here about how I automated uploading my YouTube Shorts. This can help you save tons of time and lets you focus on the creative work rather than administrative stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.